What's up, YouTube family? My name is Shaka and this is African-American-Made. Today I'm hanging with Miss Danielle Grant, the owner of the Scrub Up Shop. And the delightful Miss Grant has invited me to her store to talk about her passion for serving our medical heroes, her journey as a healthcare professional, and what inspired her to open up her own uniform store here in the Valley. Mrs. Grant's story is one of determination and persistence. So, all you dedicated heroes, join me as I stop by the Scrub Up Shop. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Well, thank you so much for taking your time out today to sit down and tell me all about your business and how you got started. I'm excited to hear your story. Won't you start by telling me your name and the name of your business?
All right. Well, my name is Danielle Grant, also known as Miss DD. My business is called the Scrub Up Shop and also the Heart Scrub CPR training.
Okay, we're going to definitely dive into both of those entities. But first, we're going to start with the Scrub Up Shop. What inspired you to start your own uniform shop for nurses?
When I started the Scrub Up Shop, the need for scrubs for women who look like me, who have curves, who have a little extras, a little of the, the mom flab, that type of stuff. I started that because I wanted to represent you or me, and I wanted us to be represented in the hospital setting. Most of the time when women put on a pair of scrubs, and they're working in the hospital, either they don't fit and then you end up with the plumber's bottom, or, everything is showing when you bend down. And we work hard at what we do, and running down the hallway, we don't want to have everything falling out, I don't know if that's a good way to say that, but we want to make sure that everything looks presentable, and and in the scrubs that we wear, they're not too tight to wear. The scrub industry, the nursing uniform industry, pretty much caters to, and of course you can get a big size, but it's not tapered to your body. They pretty much cater to a standard size. Right. Which is, that size is unflattering to certain women of certain sizes and what have you. Absolutely. Okay, so you've been a nurse for 15 years. Yes. So tell me, how did you manage to find what you needed to wear throughout that time before you came to starting your own business? So for the years, my body has changed. I used to try and fit in scrubs that were, a size extra this or a size small that, and, I would have to take some of my scrubs and have them tailored just so they can fit my hips properly. So about a year and a half, about 3 years, I'm sorry, we're in 2023 now, 3 years ago, I just really started grinding out, trying to find the best vendor that could help me, push my dream forward. And I did. And we made that connection, and now here's the Scrub Up Shop. And the Scrub Up Shop also will sell its own brand called Hero. So that's really amazing that you saw a need for in the industry and decided to fill that niche. What has been your journey from conceptualizing or having the idea for this certain type of scrubs and actually putting it into work and getting it made? I had went to a scrub store and purchased a pair of scrubs that said that they were made for curvy women, and and I got a size that I thought I'd be able to fit, and I put them on, and I had to end up going 2 sizes bigger. And that made me feel a type of way. It made me feel bad, actually, because then I started feeling, okay, well, now I'm bigger than what I think, and and that weighs heavy on someone's psyche, especially after you have children and after you're used to your body being a certain style or a certain type. And so the idea came from that, and like I said, I just started doing the footwork from there, and looking for different vendors, looking for people who can help me create this vision of what will soon be here in the Scrub Up Shop, the Hero brand. What education did you have to go through in order to make that happen, as far as design and talking to vendors? What was that process like for you? Well, number one, experience is the best, I guess the best way I can say. Experience is what taught me, what started the teaching for the scrubs. Just working in the industry and wearing something that either doesn't fit or something that, you know, you're going to go look for something better. Anytime something doesn't feel right to you, you're going to look for something better. So I decided to start fabric sourcing. On top of the fabric sourcing, I actually took a few courses on how to design a flat, and I went through a program through a local service here in Arizona. It's actually called Fabric. So shout out to Fabric. I've spoken to a few designers who, you know, tried to help me create my vision. And yeah, that's where everything started. And we're not done yet with the Hero brand, or Scrub Ups brand, Hero. So we're still at it. We're out of our creative design and we're actually in our sampling process now. So once we are done with our sampling process, you'll be able to see on our website.
That's amazing. That is totally amazing. So you went from not knowing anything about designing clothing to getting the knowledge you needed to start your line and to feel a niche in terms of the style of the size for the women that you wanted to service.
But the difference with the Hero brand is that we will have that in-between size. So where majority of your sizes are a medium is a 10 to 12, the Hero will be something like a 10 and a half to a 12 and a half. And that's just putting it in number size for now. But with Hero, we're looking to just fit everyone, but also fit the person in between.
So how competitive is this market?
Competition in the scrub industry so far, it's pretty tough. There's a lot. You have so many brands that are already recognizable, and you're competing with superstars. You're competing with celebrities who wear scrubs, you know, on TV, in these medical shows and things like that. You're competing with big businesses like, you know, Walmart, and, you know, because they sell scrubs at Walmart. You're competing with stores like Burlington Coat Factory or DD's Discounts, and that's where a lot of our medical professionals will go and try to find scrubs. Or you have the bigger scrub stores who are well known across the country who are selling scrubs, and they're selling scrubs at large volume. Mm-hmm. But what they don't have that the Scrub Up shop does have is that you come into a store where it's just me.
So where would you like to see the Scrub Up shop go from here?
There's no limit for the Scrub Up shop. The Hero brand will be, you know, in stores or in our store. On top of it being in our store and online. You know, the Scrub Up shop, we already took our step of tapping into the education part with our CPR, which is hard scrub CPR training. And you know, and now our next step after hard scrub CPR training, we'll be doing CPI training, which is for behavioral health. So kind of jumping into that side. And, you know, and then you'll start seeing more Scrub Up shop actually starting to pop up.
So that's a perfect segue into the CPR training that you do. Tell me a little bit about that and how that evolved and how you service the community with that.
So when I first started Scrub Up shop, it was, okay, you can't just sell scrubs. And I decided, how else can I help my fellow heroes? And, you know, one thing that while you're working in the hospital, in any kind of setting, we're always going to have a code. You're always going to have to stay up to date on certain things. You have to stay up to date on your license. You also have to stay up to date on your CPR. So CPR was the next thing that we were looking into, and I decided that, you know, why not become an instructor? Because not only can they purchase their scrubs here, I can also teach them and continue to make sure that, you know, at least if I know what I'm doing and I'm working with these people who I sell scrubs to, why not? You know, why not teach them the right technique? So when I had my first few classes, I even noticed with myself that, I wasn't compressing enough, because our mannequins that we use have a sensor that tells you how far you're going. The regular, the adult body doesn't tell you how far you're going, but if you know and you start with your CPR training with us, and you do your CPR training with us, we're timing you, we're showing you, the mannequin's showing you, and when you get to an actual code, you have the confidence and you have the know-how, I guess, to actually perform CPR and perform it correctly to help save the life. Because as a hero, that's what we do. We try to help save lives.
And how often is that certification required?
Every 2 years, if it's with American Heart Association, and the Heart Scrub CPR is actually, we're certified through AHA, so American Heart Association.
Okay, so you're able to market that through your scrub shops that you offer that service. And how receptive have your coworkers been? I understand that you're still in the business,
right?
To your business ventures, and how supportive have they been?
I've had a lot of my peers actually say, "Oh my God, you sell scrubs? Come and get them." What brings a lot of my peers in is our price, because we all know that purchasing a pair of scrubs, going to the big name stores, it's going to be, $100 walking out the door, or $90 walking out the door. At the Scrub Up shop, it's not that much. I'll tell you the price if you come by.
There you go. There you go. Make them work for it.
On top of that, we do our CPR training. We're pretty decent pricing for CPR training. Definitely on our website, you can schedule, you can send us an email and we can talk about it. You can also text our phone number, and you have a live person on the other end, so we'll text you back, we'll let you know how much they are, and we have classes pretty much every day. And that's here right next door to the Scrub Up shop. So if you need scrubs, you can come pick them up in this suite, and then you can walk next door and start your CPR class.
That's what's up. Now tell me, you are a native of California.
Yes. Pasadena, California.
Pasadena, specifically.
When I decided to make the transition from California to Arizona, it was more so because of my sons. At the time, I had only had my 2 twin sons, and I was pregnant with just found out I was pregnant, I think, with my daughter. And my son had made a statement to me, and he was like, "Mommy, you're never at home." And I said, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "You're never at home because you're always at work." And I started really sitting down, and I thought about that, and I said, well, that kind of sucks for, at the time he was 7. He was like 7 or 8, I can't remember. But for a 7-year-old to recognize that your mom's never around because they're always at work, or you can't make memories with your children because you're always at work, why, that has to be changed, and, it took for my son to tell me, that he wanted me around more. So I decided that I'm going to find somewhere that's a little less pricey, because California is pretty expensive to live in.
No doubt.
And so we decided to transition to Arizona. When we made it here, it was a great transition, because I was able to actually start making memories with my children. And although I love California, I love being a California native. I love my home. I love my mother because she's there, Yeah. But my family that's there, I love them too. They're very supportive. They all call and, they order from us. And, my cousin is a nurse too. She wears my scrubs too. So it was hard leaving, but the reward when I made it to Arizona, I can't put that in words,
The Hero brand. Tell me a little bit about what that looked like. Do you have the logo for that yet, or
Have you? I'm sure you've done all the licensing part on that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
All
that's
the background work is done.
Oh, good.
So Hero. Hero is going to be amazing, and I don't want to give away too much, but
Absolutely.
it's trendy. On top of it being trendy, it's made for us. And when I say us, I mean nurses with thick bodies.
Yeah, I know that there are a lot of hurdles for us as small business owners, just getting started, and, we're using every dime, our last paychecks, and, because we really believe in what we're doing, we put a lot of sweat equity in our paychecks into our dreams and our passions to make it happen.
I worked for a whole year saving every part of it. I asked my husband, I said, could you please, you take over the bills for a little while and you do whatever you can to, to make ends meet, and I'm going to push myself, but I really want to get this scrub business started. And that was a promise that we made to each other, that we would continue to help each other through whatever dream that we had. And with him taking on that part, I was able to save for a whole year so I can buy my first bundle of scrubs that I needed to, or I say bundle, but buy my first batch of scrubs for me to start selling. And then I started selling scrubs at a swap meet here in Phoenix, the Van Buren. I used to go to the Van Buren every Saturday and Sunday. I had 2 booths, and we would sell scrubs. And people, of course, when you're going to a swap meet, you're thinking that you could find scrubs, or not scrubs, but you're thinking of finding everything else. No one would think about selling scrubs at the Van Buren. So that's where we started out, and then we moved from the Van Buren, and then we went to our scrub store on 19th Avenue. We started on 19th Avenue, and it was great. During that time while we were on 19th Avenue, we gave back to the community. We actually fed the homeless for Thanksgiving, and for Christmas we gave out scrub bottoms. Some of the scrub bottoms that hadn't sold, we gave out scrub bottoms to the homeless community that was around. And on Sundays, my children and I, we would take water bottles and give them out to the homeless, all up and down 19th Avenue. But then when we transitioned from our space on 19th Avenue, and we're here in the Central, in the 8900 on Central, that was a transition from big business or just getting our brand out or getting our name out, moving to our next phase of the Scrub Up Shop, which was focusing on the mental health and the mental and physical health of a healthcare hero. So when we came here to our building here, like I said, when you walk into this store, it's inviting. It's a space where you can sit down and we can exchange energy, and it's a great place. You buy your scrubs and you go home, or you buy your scrubs and you go learn CPR next door. But we did that because Scrub Up is looking to be your one-stop shop. You come here, you buy your scrubs, you get taught, and you go home.
What would you like people to know about you?
The Scrub Up Shop is me. The Scrub Up Shop is my good day, my bad day, my every day. The Scrub Up Shop is a vibe. I am a full vibe. But what I really want everyone to know is that I took this leap of faith and I walked in it, and I walked in it for the other heroes who didn't start walking in it. Not yet, but I know that they will. And I know that after we finish this interview and they watch this part, it's going to give them that little piece of inspiration, because it took for someone to inspire me to keep moving forward. And that someone that inspired me at that time was my son. And I don't know if that part has already been seen or if you've already seen that part, but it took for my son to tell me what he did in order for me to start the Scrub Up Shop, in order for me to start building these scrubs to fit heroes like you. So what you can take away from me is that I walk by my faith on a day-to-day basis. And I think that everyone, just with a little piece, just a little bit of faith, can keep moving forward in anything that you do.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.